Welcome to Awakened Titans podcast with Lily Patrascu, mind-blowing conversations with influential business titans sharing how you can manifest abundance, love, joy, success through quantum awakening, quantum manifestation, quantum healing, quantum miracles, exponential business growth, and innovative products and services. Discover how to scale your B2B sales organically with Viplove Bhojwani. In this episode, we have this amazing entrepreneur, and he's the CEO and co-founder of Maverick. And his specialty is scaling business-to-business sales organically, and he's an expert in predictable client acquisition, and he can help you to have some outsourced sales solutions. The first question is, what's the secret to your success?
But first of all, thank you so much, Lily, for inviting me to your podcast. You're doing a great job. Now, when it comes to secret, I won't say these are the secrets per se, but what I would say for sure is consistency and following the basics has always been the key. And if I have to tell that, am I the most talented guy in the room? No. But yes, if I'm the most persistent guy, yes. So that is something kind of a very core value of anyone's success, regardless. But in the B2B sales, you have to do it even more consistently.
Thank you. And how did you become an awakened titan?
No, that's a very heavy word, a vacant title. But yeah, see, sometimes you don't realize you're doing certain big things until people come and say, "Oh, you're doing exceptionally well," and all you know is you just keep on constantly achieving your goals. And one thing I would say, I have always kept my promises to myself. Like if I have to set a goal, I will finish that. If I don't, I will work hard as much as I can. And it's called being true to yourself. Most people make goals for themselves. They all have big passions, goals, dreams, ambitions in life. But it doesn't really pan out the way. The reason being it's not their lack of talent, but it's lack of courage and lack of consistency, which I feel has been the key to whatever success so far I have achieved.
Great, thank you. And everyone wants sales. The question is, how can we get more sales? And what's the secret to scaling business-to-business sales organically?
So number one thing is you have to detach from the sales itself. You don't have to go on to a sales call and feel like, you're going to close this person. One key is that understand your target audience, even better than Facebook, what they call. Okay, that's one of the key ingredients I would recommend that people should have. Because most of the companies who are not successful, we have seen this, that they are too much attached with their product or service or solutions, but they're not too much attached with their target audience, which is, I think, the reason why they are in the business in the first place to begin with. So that is what we change for them, is ICP, clarity, bring that, and then have a roadmap. Always do the math. Let's say if you want to close 10 deals, and you say that my conversion rate is 10% on calls, then of course now you just forget about 10 sales, now get on 100 calls, because that will get you those 10 sales. And again, smart goals and everything. But again, as I said, it's important to understand your target audience and understand what you're solving for them. This is more than enough in most cases. And that's one of the key reasons why some businesses are not successful. And we know there are a lot of them which are not successful.
Thank you. And can you give some exact steps that entrepreneurs can take to scale their business and sell more, apart from what you already said?
Alrighty. So let's say step number one. First, there are two scenarios. One, if you haven't started anything. Second, if you are doing something, but now you want to scale as you asked, right? So number one thing is just go back into the clients which were the most easiest sales for you. Pick that profile and try to find more people of similar sort. So when we are doing the B2B, it's easier to find those level of companies, maybe the location, the size, the industry, the experience level of the person you've pitched, all of that put together in that. And then, as a matter of fact, see, people don't want to work with tyros or newbies. So your pitch has to be, hey, I have done XYZ for similar company just like yours. I would like to show you the case study. Would you be interested in it? Now, that being said, now people know that you have done something for exactly the people like themselves. Now, once that happens, as a next step is now you pitch them. Okay, and do that consistently, because it's easier to find people with case studies in the B2B space. If you don't have a track record, partner with something or someone to have their case studies, because without case studies you can't close more people. And try to just replicate your successful clients and scale that further, because it's not going to be the most fantastic job if you just go ahead and try to find different target audiences all the time. Stick with one goal, fulfill that. I mean, reach to the highest potential that industry has to offer. And trust me, there are so many people say, okay, we have our smaller niche, the total addressable market is quite insignificant, but that's not the case. People are adding to that bit. It's just that you have to put trackers. So you can use, if you don't want to spend a lot of money, use LinkedIn Sales Navigator. If you can use a lot of money, use tools like Zoom Info or Sales Intel. Doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, the data is the key. Understanding, compiling the data and scaling it that further is one of the most important criteria, and keeping the brand really healthy. So for example, the publications, the other guys have to be speaking about you. You should not be speaking about yourself that much. People start creating content, but again, it's the user engagement that gets them. So those are the things. And when people are signing the deal, specifically in the B2B context, those are the things which they look.
Thank you so much. What about organically? Does that mean that you do a social media post and you tell people to comment and then they come to you? Does that mean that you are messaging them on LinkedIn or Facebook? What do you mean by organically specifically?
See, organic means you have to create and build a brand, and it doesn't have to just be about the content. See, at the end of the day, to the highest level, what's organic? It means people approaching you. Sales are happening yourself. Okay, but for that to build, it means
I think we missed a part. So can you repeat that? Just what you just said now.
Yeah, so as I was talking about the organic stuff, okay? Now, organic stuff is something where the people are coming to you. So there are two methods. One, you're going to them. Second, they're coming to you. Now, when they are coming to you, there are certain methods through which, for example, we produce a lot of webinars, okay? We appear on podcasts as well, and we have our own podcasts, okay? We have our own YouTube channel. What we're doing is educating them, but educating them with a perfect problem, which not a lot of people are searching for it. There's a very specific audience to it. And then use LinkedIn to create your brand. But again, as a matter of fact, post relevant content. Nowadays the post and all those don't work. Carousels, documents, all that stuff really works, and which we do for our clients. So that, imagine this, your client, when you are sending them a proposal, they are having 10 other guys also competing against you. So what are you going to do about that? So anyone who will have a better brand, organic reach, more credibility, that will help you close deals much faster.
Okay. And is there anything else that people can do? Let's say, imagine that you already have an established company, they're already getting sales, and they just want to get more sales of more qualified, more relevant organizations. What do you suggest there?
I would suggest them to have channel partnerships with similar, or I would say indirect competitors. So for example, if I run a service company, a consulting firm here, then I have to partner with SaaS tools out there, which are not directly serving my audience, or I would say directly serving my audience, but then they're not competing against me. They have $100 product, I have got too rich service. Can't explain the price point here. But so now when we are working together, what we're doing is we are exchanging our influence on the same client. So let's say if there is an X SaaS tool, which is doing lead generation using AI, and if they are, posting about me on their newsletters, on their blogs, then what happens is that a lot of their people will come to me. And same way, of course, when I say, okay, I can't serve you because our ticket size is a little higher, then to start off with that tool. So that way you can expand the horizons. You cannot compete. Don't try to compete. It's just try to win, because there is only a handful of people, and you can make a lot of friends in business to get more business. Don't create a lot of competition unnecessarily. And this is, I think, the thing that everyone thinks about. I want to get better than this guy. But what if he has got something unique? And you don't have to merge your business, right? Use something, think something. You have to be creative what you want to bring to the partnership. Channel partnership is one. The second thing is, if they're having that, then they have to ask with their clients for referral. They have to have a dedicated referral system. So the moment they sign a client, they say, okay, can you give me 3 references? Which do you think can be quite useful for our solution, or we can genuinely help them? Okay, and if we get that, we'll give you about 10% discount on your next billing, or this and that, whatever works out for you. But again, those are the two great sources. And again, people get references, but they don't actively have a program. And we at Maverick have an active program. So the moment you sign up, okay, the relationship manager will walk you through about the benefits of the partnership. And again, and these will be your best promoters at the end of the day.
Great. Thank you so much. What about predictable client acquisition? Do you mean you are doing that through paid ads, or do you mean that through organic leads? And if it's through organic
When we
leads,
say,
what specifically do you do?
Yeah, when we say predictable, it means that you know the outcome of the every month. For example, if we want to close 10 sales, and as I said, we need to hit 100 appointments. Now, if we have 100 appointments already booked for that calendar month, it's highly predictable. Okay, so you can, let's say, if there is economic downward, or slope that's going down, then in that case, what you can typically do is you can produce more appointments. So predictability means that you are doing your efforts, you know exactly what tentative result can be, and then focus on those controllables. Because who's going to close out, I know, or who's going to work with you, or who you can sell, is not something you can decide. But what you can decide, how many people you speak with, how many proposals that are sent out to. And this is something, as I mentioned previously, people are not very regular in getting those deals. 1 month they're doing good, second month they're like slacking, because not everyone can just crave for success every day. That's the thing. So I think the people who are the most hungry people, they will consistently do this. People are not, probably. But this is the predictability element, very important. And you need to track your numbers. If you don't track your numbers, it's not going to work for you.
Thank you so much. But the question still remains, like, how do you get these people into your calendar in order to be able to...
We do outreach on LinkedIn, email. We do cold calls. We're expert of that. Okay. Some people do the content marketing. But we are very expert in the LinkedIn outreach, email outreach, cold calling. And in the B2B, these are the 3 important channels. If you look at all the big companies that are doing so. And also remembering that the trends of the LinkedIn and email constantly keeps on changing. So you need to focus on what's working and keep on optimizing. The good part is keep a check every 2 days, because the good part about the outbound, if it's not producing results in 2 days, it means there is something terribly wrong. It means either you're targeting the wrong people or the messaging is wrong. Follow up with people a lot, like 4 times, 5 times, whatever it is. But yeah, this is still the way, working really well. And now, as an addition, what we are trying is called video outreaching. So you create a Loom account, you go to the user's website and say, okay, make it look personalized. Don't use AI for that, because people can figure it out if it's an AI or it's a human being doing the job. And you'll be surprised. Every 10 Loom videos we send out to, we get about 7-8 appointments. So it's easy because not a lot of people are doing that. So it means like prospect is seeing that we're making an effort and everyone is not. So they're kind of influenced with that grit, and then they come in to the calls.
Okay, thank you so much. That's a really great strategy, and I have seen some people do that for me as well. And I do think it works, at least in terms of thinking, okay, this person has made an effort. Let me at least check what the person said about my website or about certain things that they believe they can help. I do think it works in terms of at least getting the message to the person. I do think in most of the cases they do at least see it, and like you say, it leads to a high conversion rate in terms of at least having them come onto the call. Very good. So in terms of the cold calling, do you suggest hiring any particular companies in order to have the leads come to you in a predictable way?
I mean, they can hire us if they want for cold calling.
Okay.
That's not a problem.
And how does that work?
All they have to go is to go to maverickvelocity.com. They have to book a call with us. Number one, we will first analyze that whether we can help them or not. Okay. And if we can't, we direct them towards the agencies who can help them, because we have our own target niche, and we take clients with a specific criteria, because that's where we are good at, for having predictable results for them. So they can go to the website, take the free consultation. At least what it will do is give them a better perspective about their B2B sales agency. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. But there are so many other agencies, I would say. But what I first say is that you start cold calling yourself if you're the CEO, or if you are in sales. Relying on people to scale is a good idea, but relying on people to do the business for you, just to get that first step, is not going to help. Because let's say uh, any agency cannot be as motivated as the business owner themselves about their own company. So it's important. Then, of course, you can't handle a lot of pressure. You need to make more calls, because, again, predictability is the element here. The way you scale is you make more appointments. So when we are talking about 100 appointments, you cannot go on every 100 appointment, right? I mean, in a month, it's very difficult. Then you hire, or maybe you can give it to an agency, but first do it yourself. And then there are different coaches through which you can learn cold calling really well. I would recommend Jordan Belfort, Grant Cardone, Jeremy Miner. These are very good at teaching you the tonal patterns of cold calling, and that really works well.
Thank you so much. Can I ask you, when you do a video about the company you are targeting, what kind of things do you say in that video?
I've got an AI bot which gives me relevant information about, we do the SWOT analysis: strength, weaknesses, opportunity, and threat. Again, in regards with what I can do as sales. So what I do is I say that, okay, I'm a normal human being. I'm just creating this video, scrolling and showing them, and then showing them that, okay, this is what I have researched about your company. I may be wrong about it, but if I'm correct, I may have a solution for you which might work. Would you be open for a quick conversation? No pressure, just a casual call. Maybe you'll get some value out of it. And then my link to book the meeting, and then book the meeting. And from there, it's happening.
Thank you. And what kind of AI do you use in order to create this SWOT? And what does it kind of like analyze different websites that the person has, or how does that work? Does it analyze different websites?
Yes. So it's ChatGPT's premium version. You can create your own GPTs into this one, and you train the bot according to what you want as an output. So we have to give prompts first, install that, create it separate for us. So anytime I have to create a Loom video for someone, all I have to just do is that, copy their website link, paste it there. It gives me the data. Now for me, the data is there, but I don't have to go through with every single point, because the video cannot be more than a minute or 1.5 minutes longer. So then I just have to pick what I think is more relevant. So AI would just help me streamline things, but again, I have to do the job myself.
But the AI is only going to tell you what is there. They're not going to tell you, oh, we suggest that you should optimize this or that, right? It only tells you, summarizes the information that is there, right? Am I right in saying that?
You're right.
Okay. That's great. So the other thing I was testing with my team was to use like some sort of WhatsApp chatbot. I have already one integrated with my Facebook Messenger, and I do find it works quite well because I think last year or the year before, I was contacted by at least 12,000 people in my Facebook page, and it was really hard to handle. But what I found is that now I'm looking to see how I can optimize the WhatsApp conversations, because most of my selling happens in WhatsApp. And I was wondering whether you recommend any particular tool for managing the WhatsApp sales conversations.
There's so many, but still WhatsApp is a territory. It's not yet explored by a lot of people and not have been recommended, because there is a very thin line between the personal and the professional number, and we have to follow just the business contacts. So we don't do that stuff. But yeah, for WhatsApp there are good tools. I cannot recommend anyone because we personally don't use it. And but there are tools, I've seen them. But integration is yet to be a big issue. I mean, they're doing the basic stuff. But AI chatbot market in general for Facebook Messengers, WhatsApp is growing phenomenally.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. What about in LinkedIn? Because I have tried some tools for LinkedIn as well, like a CRM for managing the conversations. And what I found is that LinkedIn actually blocked me a couple of times. So luckily, I was just suspended for like a day. But it just sounds like it's a very dangerous thing to do. However, I know there are some people who do use it successfully. So I wonder whether you recommend any particular tools that can enable us to still manage our data in LinkedIn, whether it's giving the people from LinkedIn some link where they can opt in, and that way they are off LinkedIn and they're off the LinkedIn rules and this kind of thing, so that they're not, conflicting with the rules and so on. Is there anything you recommend related to
Of course.
getting more?
And LinkedIn is something what we are expert in. Now there are two category of tools on LinkedIn. Okay, one is called extension based category, and this is a category where you have a higher chance of getting blocked if you're not careful. Okay, it could be LinkedIn Helper, it could be any of those extension tools. Extension tool meaning is you need to keep your laptop up while the campaign is running. It's performing the actions.
Yes.
That is an exercise which can lead you towards the spamming loss. The second category of tools are cloud-based tools. Okay, the tools like if you want to go into the cheaper segment, it's called WeConnect. But the software is very difficult to use and customer support is bad. But if the price is something what you want to choose, because extension based tools are cheaper, cloud based tools are expensive. Okay, if you want to go towards those tools, Galaxy, you can try a lot of them actually. But cloud based tools are much more safer. So whenever you're doing your search which LinkedIn tool, first and foremost thing you have to look at is if this is a cloud-based LinkedIn outreach platform. Now, with cloud-based, what happens is that first you're not live all the time, and then you can spread it across, let's say 12 hours. Your campaign is running. So LinkedIn is taking, or the automation is taking, let's say every 5 minutes, one step or one activity. Now you are outside the spamming laws. When you're doing the extension like that, what's happening in about a couple of hours, 3 hours, you're just doing everything, which is pretty much an easy signal for that. But nowadays there are good tools like Buzz. There's a tool. It's a little on the expensive side, but they also have those AI conversational bots. So sometimes you cannot just respond to everyone left, right, center, right? So this actually just creates the best reply for you. I mean, this is also phenomenal. We work with Buzz, and they're very good. So if you want to go with the segment which is at a premium price, then they would be your choice.
Wow, that's really great information. I think that really millions of people are struggling with sales, right? And what you've shared today is very useful for so many entrepreneurs to discover how to grow their business. Because if you're not making sales, you're not really like growing your business. So, so my question is, tell us about some of your achievements and case studies, like a cumulative number of them, just for us to get an idea of what you've managed to achieve with these lead generation tools.
Yeah, so with the lead generation tools and the combination of experience and AI, now let's say number one achievement which we have is called having constant appointments in our clients, calendar.
Mm-hmm.
This has been consistent. So we start with 10 appointments, 20 appointments in a month, whatever the number is. That's one segment. Second, because it's very well targeted. So there was this, let's say a client who was not able to close anyone. Is closing out of every 10 calls, 3 to 4 deals. The reason being is we have understood their ideal consumer profile really well. We're targeting really, really well. Okay, so those are the things. So now we have what we have achieved, which I would value the most is my clients are now more confident when they get on calls. And they know that, it's not the luck they have to rely on, it's just the strategy. Hope and luck are the worst business strategies anyone can have. It's all about um, the right mindset and again, right, way of carrying out the things. And there are only few right way, but again, for everyone, we test waters first, that what's working for them, because everyone is different, locations are different, the profiles are different, experience. Once we find that out, we scale it up. But yes, we have seen a lot of clients calling us saying, you just changed my perspective. Things are easy. And we don't do especially a lot of great stuff, to be very fair. I mean, this is what I feel everyone should do, but unfortunately the pretty obvious is not that obvious in the world. That's what my thing is.
Okay, thank you. And tell us, how does it work? Do you charge like an upfront fee, or is it like commission based, or is it a bit of both? How does it work in terms of, let's say, if someone wanted to hire you to get leads done, leads booked into their calendar?
So when leads booked into the calendar, we have an upfront fee depending upon the number of I would say leads they would want. Now there are two category of leads. Number one quality is just the intro calls, just first time calls.
Mm-hmm.
The second is called qualified calls, where we also have a pre-sales guy from our team qualifying these people. So both the categories have different price points altogether,
Mm-hmm.
but we have plans and we have very standard plans. Like if you want X number of appointments, that's there. This is a price. If you want Y number, that's the price. I mean, it doesn't change with industry or things. But yeah, we only work with clients who are selling over $10,000 sort of product, at least considered into the high ticket. So for them, they don't need a lot of volume in terms of numbers in sales, but they need few quality clients which can give them the same amount of revenue which a B2C company is expecting.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. What about, for example, for me, I organize a lot of large events. And at the moment, my partner and I, we do all the sales. So let's say that I want to hire some companies to do the cold calling and also to maybe promote the events that we run to their list. Where do you recommend that we go to actually have that done? If, let's say, we wanted to do that on a commission basis only, is there any way to source these kind of leads from maybe people that are like us, that have already a massive database of similar entrepreneurs like the ones that we desire? Is there any particular place you recommend that we find those kind of people?
I would see the easy way when you want to go on a commission mode is actually not to look for the cold calls. Okay. The best idea is do these partnerships with some of your loyal followers. Who do you think have got a network, because they believe in the idea, so they will be more like pushing that also. That is must. Then signing up on platforms like, let's look at your competitors, who is doing similar kind of events, and then all of these events do have the database. Okay, and if they're not your direct competitor, then you can exchange that, because that's how it goes. If you look at any chain who's doing events, every time their numbers grow up, and majority of the time same companies are attending those events. The reason being is because they're loyal, and they get the much more added value when they're joining that. So that's an easy way to start things off, because when you're building the cold call system, it requires, see, logically, if you see, and logistically, you need a lot of investment for that.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you in-house, you need to have right guys, you need to have right cold calling softwares, right CRMs, in order to follow up. All that stuff is quite expensive at the end of the day. Plus, the most important investment is the human capital. Who is calling for you? And if that person is wrong, it's just going to look really bad on your brand side. Even if somebody wants to, they won't be able to.
What is one of the biggest achievements that you have already created for yourself and your clients?
Yeah, for our clients, we have served over 567 clients so far. From what I know is we have produced over 50 million for them in terms of the revenue they get, with increasing, I would say, value in terms of their sales closing. So it's just not about the meetings, but the way we train them. We're very good producers, trainers, and lead generators for them. So yeah, this has been like this, and so far our conversion rate for our clients has always been somewhere between 30 to 50%. So every 10 calls my clients go, they're pretty much able to close 3 to 5, which is a huge number. Uh, in my belief, a lot of people who know B2B sales, they know that 10% is even higher, but my clients are closing that. So we're doing something good. Number speaks for itself. And we've got great number of testimonials, case studies, all of that.
Okay, thank you. And what do you think makes you an awakened Titan? And what's your message?
I just, I would say what makes me is I have got a backstory in my head, what motivated me to be where I am. And every day I get up, I say, okay, I've passed that. And it's just that, I have to be grateful with the life I've got. And I just don't have to be carried away and think like I'm the best in the world. So I just want, my wife just keeps me grounded. My mother, my sister, their job is only in my life to keep me grounded. Because when with that success, you try to think too much of yourself. And what I do is grounded. All I expect from myself is that I get up every day and do what I do, which I've been doing for the last 9 years. That's all. Because I know results, I'll get it. I'm very confident about them. It's just the fact that if I don't do what I do, that's going to be a problem. So just do it. And I think doers are the winners at the end of the day. Talkers are just, I just don't have words for them. I mean, I pity them.
Okay, perfect. So stay tuned to the next episode of Awakened Titans podcast. Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential business titans, providing you with the insights to awaken to your full potential so you can get paid to be yourself, find true happiness, and manifest anything you desire.